हो गया
कर दिए. Okay, hello students. Today just I will teach in class 10 biology. Your topic is how does nutrition take place in amoeba. In my previous class, just I had studied about how does nutrition takes place in amoeba, but it was incompleted. So today just I am going to repeat once again. Okay, and for this just I am going to draw a rough diagram of amoeba, means how does it how does in amoeba nutrition process is completed. To show diagrammatically, just I am going to draw a rough diagram. Nutrition in amoeba. Listen, this is the rough diagram of the process how the nutrition takes place in amoeba. Just I have drawn on the board. You should know amoeba is an aquatic unicellular organism, and it feeds on the small pieces of protozoan, diatoms, and different types of algae. You should know in amoeba, holozoic type of nutrition takes place like us, and you know the process of holozoic nutrition is completed into 5 steps. Means we can say in holozoic nutrition 5 steps are present, in which first is called ingestion, second is called digestion, third is called absorption, fourth is called assimilation, and fifth is called egestion. So today just we have to discuss about them one by one. You know in amoeba intracellular type of digestion takes place. There are 2 types of digestion, in which one is called intracellular digestion and second is called extracellular. What are the meaning of this terms intracellular and extracellular? Means when digestion takes place inside the cell, then it is called intracellular type of digestion, but when the process of digestion takes place just outside the cell, then it is called extracellular type of digestion. You know amoeba is a unicellular structure, means it is made up of single cell. So since amoeba is made of single cell, the whole process of digestion is completed inside the single cell of the body. Since only single cell is present and digestion takes place inside that cell, so we can say in amoeba intracellular type of digestion takes place, but in our body extracellular type of digestion takes place. Now just I am going to discuss how does nutrition take place in amoeba diagrammatically. Just I have drawn a rough diagram for this process. You know amoeba is a irregular shape, means it has no fixed shape. Means in amoeba there is no fixed structure. Now just I am going to say how does ingestion takes place in amoeba. In amoeba, for the process of ingestion there is no any particular organ. In amoeba the process of ingestion takes place always in the direction of the motion, and it takes place through the general body surface. When amoeba reaches to the food, means we can say when food comes in the contact of the amoeba, then amoeba surrounds that food with the help of pseudopodia. And after that it touches the ends of its pseudopodia like this and form a cup-like structure. This cup is called food cup. Finally, where both ends of the pseudopodia gets touched, the plasma lemma of that place gets dissolved, and finally that food particles or food goes inside the body of the amoeba and surrounded by a membranous structure. That membranous structure is called food vacuole, in which food particle is present. Now, once again, just I am going to repeat the ingestion process of ingestion. In amoeba, for the process of ingestion, there is no any particular organ. It takes place through the general body surface with the help of pseudopodia. Now, just I am going to discuss about second step, that is called digestion. In amoeba, just I have said, intracellular type of digestion takes place, and in them the process of digestion takes place inside the food vacuole. You should know, for the process of digestion, enzyme is required, and this enzyme comes from the lysosome, which is present in the cytoplasm of the amoeba. In amoeba, digestion process first completed in acidic medium, and after that it is completed in basic medium. The acidic medium of the food vacuole helps in killing the prey, whereas the basic medium helps in the digestion of various types of substances present in that food. According to some scientists, lipase enzyme is present for the digestion of fat, amylase enzyme is present for the digestion of starch, and proteinase enzyme is present for the digestion of protein. Once again, I am going to say, according to some scientists, in amoeba, some enzymes are present. For example, for the digestion of protein, it has proteinase enzyme. For the digestion of fat, it has lipase enzyme, and for the digestion of starch, it has amylase enzyme. Now, we will see about the third process, that is called absorption. According to some scientists, absorption process does not take place in amoeba, but we will discuss about that. After the completion of the process of digestion, food vacuole starts to move in the cytoplasm due to the streaming movement of the cytoplasm. And during this movement, the digested food material which is present inside the food vacuole comes out from the food vacuole into the cytoplasm. This process is called absorption. Now we will discuss about the fourth step, that is called assimilation. In the cytoplasm of the amoeba, the process of assimilation takes place. In this process, digested food material gets oxidized. As a result, energy is produced, and this energy is utilized by the amoeba to do various activities. Some amount of that digested food material is stored in the body of the amoeba in the form of glycogen, and some amount of that digested food material helps in the formation of the protoplasm. After that, last step is egestion. Just we will discuss about egestion. What is the process of egestion? Removal of undigested food material from the body to the outside, that is called egestion. And you should know, for the process of egestion in amoeba, there is no any particular organ, and it also takes place through the general body surface. When amoeba moves in a particular direction, then just opposite of the direction of the motion, food vacuole starts to move. And when it touches the plasma lemma, then at that place plasma lemma gets ruptured, and all plasma lemma with food vacuole gets ruptured, and all the undigested food material which is present inside the food vacuole comes outside to the body of the amoeba. And after that, that ruptured part of the plasma lemma soon gets repaired, which prevents the outflow of the protoplasm. In this way, we are seeing here in amoeba the process of nutrition takes place. Now, after the completion of the nutrition, how the nutrition takes place in amoeba, we have to study about the digestive system which takes place in human being. Means how the nutrition takes place in human being, just we have to study. You know, in human being, hologic type of nutrition takes place. But here we have to discuss about whole digestive system. So first of all, we will discuss about what is digestive system. You know, the process of digestion is completed inside the alimentary canal, and for the process of digestion, enzyme is required, and this enzyme are secreted by the digestive glands. So how will you define the digestive system? Alimentary canal, digestive glands, and the process of digestion all are collectively known as digestive system. Once again, just I am going to say alimentary canal, digestive glands, and the process of digestion all are collectively known as digestive system. Now just I am going to say about there are two types of glands which are present in our body, in which one is called exocrine gland and second is called endocrine gland. So first of all, just I will define exocrine gland and endocrine gland, and just I will differentiate both also. So just I am going to say about endocrine gland. First of all, you should know those glands which are present in our body, those glands which are present in our body and release hormones are called endocrine glands. But those glands which release enzymes are called exocrine gland. Means in our body two types of glands are present, in which some are called exocrine gland whereas some are called endocrine glands. So those glands which release hormones are called endocrine glands, and those glands which release enzymes are called exocrine gland. Second difference, in exocrine gland their own ducts are present, but in endocrine glands they have no their own duct. So endocrine glands are also known as ductless glands. Once again just listen, exocrine glands have their own duct, but endocrine glands have no duct, so they are called ductless gland also. Next, third difference, since exocrine glands have their own duct, so they send their secretion to the target place through the duct, whereas endocrine glands have no duct, so they send their secretion to the target place through the bloodstream. So these are the three differences between exocrine gland and endocrine gland. So from next day, just we will discuss about digestive system. Okay.